All right, good morning. This is the $1 million decision-making framework. And the reason this is so important is every action that you take within your business is a decision. Every decision you make influences the result on the other side. Whether it's a good decision or a bad decision is decided upon the end outcome. So how do you make good decisions or majority good decisions so that the majority of your outcomes are all good? Now, there's an actual scientific way of doing it. Everything that I discuss is backed by science, is backed by logic, it's backed by data. It isn't woo-woo bullshit. It isn't, it's not stuff like that. It's actual things that exist. Now, there's a structure in energetic potential that I want to talk about that's influencing everyone's decisions, and it's called pendulums. So, step one of making a good decision is to identify the pendulums pulling at you. So what these are, they're energetic structures. They feed on your attention or your emotion. And in business, they often look like things like we need fast scaling. I need to hit 10K or I'm a failure. I need to do this new outreach method someone's doing. I need to run that type of advert. Oh, this other person's doing this. Oh, if I don't sign this client I just pitched, I've ruined my agency. I wasted so much time. Right there are all thought structures other people might have thought in the past. You're thinking the thoughts of other people. You're not thinking your own unique thoughts. You're simply responding to a pendulum. If you stop your toe on the wall, it's a pendulum. It wants your energy. It wants you to scream at the wall. It's not the wall's fault. You should laugh. You should diffuse the pendulum. Or the rest of your day, you'll be feeding that pendulum energy because you'll spill your coffee. Then you'll get in traffic. And this and that. And you need to be aware of what pendulums are so that you can get past them. An angry boss at work. The angry boss at work is a pendulum. You could scream in his face and tell him to fuck off, but the pendulum then means you lose even more. You lose the job and you go down this downward spiral. If you go, oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. Oh, absolutely. Oh, of course. You've just diffused the pendulum by agreeing with it. Pendulum has no energy from you. You've given it no attention or emotion. So now that I've explained this, it's important to understand pendulums influence your thought and your decision making, and is the number one reason why the majority of people make incorrect or bad decisions. So how do we apply it, right? Before you make any decision, ask yourself this: is this action coming from clarity, or am I being pulled by fear, hype, or industry pressure? Really important stuff. Fear: I'm scared my business will do this, therefore I must do this. Hype: whoa, everyone just jumped in this mentorship. It's going amazing. Look at the results. Let's get in. Industry pressure: it's the same thing, right? Oh, people are struggling in December at this time of year. It's just 1st of December today at the time of recording. Oh, people are struggling in December. Oh my God, no, I need to do this. I need to run ads. I need to spend more money. Again, these are all things that a lot of people don't even realize are happening. And if it is coming from a pendulum, you need to detach emotionally. Observe it neutrally. Observe your thoughts. Observe things like you're a third person. It's the safest way to exist as a human being. And regain your internal freedom to choose. And this reduces decision stress by 50%. And I genuinely mean it, right? The majority of you right now, I actually know this almost as a fact, will have a decision in the back of your mind that you keep returning to regularly on a day-to-day basis, and you're reluctant to make a decision. Indecision kills businesses. You have to choose, guys. I teach this in a lot of videos. You've got to choose. Whatever it is you're thinking, choose. But reduce your decision stress before you do that. Otherwise, you'll struggle deeply. Now, here's another actionable step. This is no bullshit. This is literally things you can do. You can say, great, I've learned that concept, I will put it in action. There's no point learning things that you can't put in action. Reduce importance around the decision. Okay? Importance creates something called excess potential. I will call that excess importance, excess energy. And what happens with excess energy? I always teach this. It's the theory of equilibrium. All things must return to their original state, a state of zero excess potential. It's Le Chatelier's principle. Sorry, Le Chatelier's principle. Oh my God. And then it's the same with Newton's third law as well. Each force equal an opposite force to restore to equilibrium. So a difficult business decision, it usually feels difficult because you've loaded it with importance. You've said, I need this to work. Common importance is this. If I pick the wrong niche, I'm doomed. I'll spend all this money on the ads, it'll fuck me over. If I don't invest in this course, I'll fall behind everyone else. But this is what your actual move should be, which is you treat your decision like one of many parallel possibilities. And by parallel possibilities, again, for those of you that maybe English isn't your first language or you don't understand that term, which there is a fair amount, parallel would look like this, beside each other, all running in the same direction. And these are all possibilities of lifelines that you can choose to exist within. You could exist within the lifeline where what you're doing right now works. You could exist within the one where what you're doing right now doesn't work, but the mentorship you join helps you. You can join no mentorships, but read a lot of books, and that work for you. You can do none of these and just meditate, and suddenly things work. There are unlimited lifelines, and this is scientifically proven. Whether you believe me or not is up to you. As a human brain that is incredibly powerful, you all can choose the lifeline in which you exist within, by your beliefs and thoughts. Whether you choose A, B, C, D, E, you will get the best outcome, and you believe that. You say in your head that it's not life or death. Whatever happens, happens. Spend the money. See what happens. That sort of nonchalant attitude will protect you from a lot of things. When you lower the importance, your intuition becomes clearer, your thoughts. The fear of the decision decreases, and your alternatives, i.e. those options that you have, become very, very visible. So, how the hell do you do that? Because it's actually very, very hard. Zealand is, again, a very phenomenal author and also I believe is scientific figure. I don't know exactly what he does. I've read a few books about him, and I know he understands this concept very well. The way he teaches this is to tune into the heart and mind coordination. Now, this sounds like some wishy-washy bullshit, but it actually isn't, right? And let me distinguish between the two so people understand what they are. You wanting to achieve something to provide for your family, that's a heart decision. People call it from the heart. You ever heard that phrase before? What they really mean is a certain section of your brain, somewhere else in your brain, that dictates that type of feeling. I believe that it's your subconscious mind that access your heart, what you want deep down, the desires you have, the intentions, things like that. And the mind is more referring to the conscious mind that is logical and looks for the logical options and the risks. It protects you. You're a survival being. You're looking to survive and protect yourself. So basically what he says is decisions should align with both. Intellectually, with logical advantages, and emotionally with inner ease. Okay, inner ease is the only thing I want you to read there. Because how do you know if a decision's going to be good? I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine you're standing right here. You have both options to go down. You know, which option feels calmer? You know, when you go that direction and you spend that money on whatever it is, how does it feel? Do you feel relieved? Or if you go this option, how do you feel about that? Do you feel happy you didn't spend it? Or do you feel nervous now that you're alone? Like, it doesn't matter what you've chosen or what your decision is. That's an example of how to do it. Now, again, high-level business owners still do this. This isn't some basic stuff that, you know, small operators choose to do. People very high up choose to do this and spend a lot of money learning how. I recommend you take that information and also use it yourself. So how do you do this, right? These slides it's referring to is images in your brain, slides. You know how like slideshows look? Imagine the slide of where you want to be with your business or what you want the outcome of a decision to be. Imagine it. Or imagine taking that first step into the decision. Imagine it in your brain, visualize and see, does it feel like the right decision? Now ask, which slide produces the feeling of internal lightness or ease? This ease, it means that exact path is the one of least resistance. I don't like that term. I prefer the term of most continuity, most consistency. Least resistance and most consistency don't often correlate, which is weird, right? Because resistance is just simply pressure from the old self when you're trying to become something new with a new decision. It usually points to the best decision, though, feeling that ease. We will move to, well, that was number 3. So number 4, guys, I mean, there's unbelievable value here, so just hold tight. I mean, there is a lot to go through. I could go on and on and on about this sort of topic, but the people that watch all of it and actually consume it will learn so much. And also, by the way, if you have questions on any, where the hell is it? If you have questions on any of it, you know where to go. Just drop me a message on Instagram. I will get straight back to you. I've currently actively got probably 15 conversations going on there with different guys. They ask me questions. I voice note them the solution. Boom, done. Takes no time for me, and I'm helping guys out, so why the fuck not? And look at all the other videos that are in progress or currently being done or have been done. Like, we are stacking up unbelievable value. Back in, use outer intention instead of force. All right. So this is an interesting one. Most owners, they rely on inner intention, forcing results through action. That's what that is. Intention, inner intention is I'm going to forcefully do this, forcefully do that, force myself. Whereas what we need to do is use outer intention. Now, we'll talk about practically what that even is, but the decision becomes easier when you assume the world is ready to help you realize which path you should take. So practically, choose the option where things seem like, I guess, unreasonable to fail. That option where they feel you're almost highly certain it will work, where you feel most confident in the success of you or the business or whatever the decision is. And notice the small details, right? Look out for them. It might be a text message, a DM, a story highlight on Instagram, whatever it is. Look out for it and, just absorb the information, observe it, and watch for the opportunity, and let that environment confirm the right path. Let it show you if it's the right one or not. And how does it do that? Let me show you one, right? Maybe you need to fire someone, and I've been in this position before. I've had people, especially in the early stages, that I trusted, and they weren't delivering results, but I was friends with them almost, because it was a smaller business back then, only maybe 3-4 staff. And I was starting out, we were doing quite well, but these guys were letting me down, and I was paying them a basic salary plus commission, and a lot of commission too, 25% per deal, plus a setup fee as well of like $300. So that's like 800 to 1.2k per deal for those fuckers. But anyway, they let me down, and I realized they weren't calling their discovery calls. I realized they were fucking me over, and I sat on that decision of, who do I fire? Is it him? Is it him? I mean, this guy shows more grit and determination. This guy's really low skill set, but he works. I don't know what to do, and I literally remember myself sitting in the back garden of my home, my family home, because I still lived at home at the time. I could afford to travel and, Airbnb hop like we're doing now, but I just didn't. Things were a little different back then. And I sat in the back garden. I was there with my mum and my dog, of course, sipping a coffee in the sun. I think it was around about summertime at the time. And I remember saying to her, listen, I got this problem. I have these 2 employees, and I don't know who to get rid of because they're both costing me money, and I'm not really getting much from them. And business was a little tough that month as well. And her advice, yes, she gave some advice, but she also said, you'll figure it out. Just don't worry about it, Jack. Just, relax today, because I was pretty worked up. I had like a lot of stuff going on in the business, mini lawsuit, a couple other shit. And that can be stressful, right? Especially when I was younger. Like, I was younger. I wasn't used to dealing with stuff like that. By the way, the lawsuit wasn't against me. It was against someone else. So just so you know, I'm not a bad person. But yeah, anyway, back to it. And I did literally just that whole weekend drive around in my nice car and let the sun hit me in the face and the wind, put my music on, went to the beach. And the right answer came to me on Monday morning, and I took action on it, and it was the best decision I could have ever made. But I nearly made the wrong decision. I nearly made the wrong decision, the opposite decision of firing the wrong person. There was the fucking vermin in my business. And I'm sorry I say that, but I'm so passionate about it because it was my business and I spent so much money. And this person, over the course of the time he was with me, cost me over $20,000 worth of leads. And that was very frustrating. Whereas the data showed, I wonder if I still have it saved. Hold on, this is worth a detour. Hold tight, guys. All right, so I am going to need to blur out names. However, right now I'm going to put a screenshot on the screen and read it out. So this is over the last 3 months, okay? We've got one closer number 1, who took 193 discovery calls that I paid for myself. He closed 8 deals, and that was month 1 cash collected 12.5k, contract value of over 40k, I think. So that's a 4% discovery call to close rate, which is shit. So you can see the predicament I was in. Closer number 2, 89 DCs, 6 deals, and roughly the same amount closed, but a higher close percentage, 7%, double, nearly. In terms of effort, closer 1 did 33 hours of talk time. Okay, scratch that. I said the guy's name. I didn't mean to. Closer number 2 did 2,000 calls, 18 minutes talk time. So I calculated the dollars made per hour talk time. Closer number 2 made $500 per hour talk time. Closer number 1, $300. Overall, closer number 2 is 40% more efficient. And in total, the number of lost leads was, let's see here. I don't even know what the maths is on this. Oh, shoot, it was even more. It was over $20,000 worth of discovery calls that he didn't show up to, and 48 follow-ups that were just abandoned and left to die. Every deal is worth $1,000, so that's approximately $50K. So 5, 6, 7, that's $70K worth of pipeline value that this guy just discarded and left and abandoned. Anyway, this was the message I sent to him. I said, "Hi mate, from today I can't keep you on this offer. I took a look at the data in depth. I haven't seen enough from you. I said numerous times inputs, but there was no change in performance from you. Training was provided. I coached you as much as possible and tried to light a fire up your arse, but an average of 19 dials per day and 25 minutes talk time is below the standard. Let me know when you're free. I told you to step on the gas this month and you didn't." Wow. I was pissed. So that's an example, right, guys, of making the right decision. I was very happy with that decision. The business did great after that, and we took off and got upwards momentum. So I just thought I'd share that so you guys have actionable steps. Like, I've given you concepts, I've given you a story, and now we're moving on to the next concepts for the next story. So it's really important that you guys can consolidate in your brain, and I've always found the way I learn is through visualizing and listening to stories. So I hope that helped. Anyway, next bit of this. You know what? I fancy a coffee break. I'm going to have a coffee break, and then we're going to jump straight back in, guys. So I recommend you do the same. There's the sound of the door closing, just to be clear. Let's see what's going on. Nice invoice came through. Slack notification. Cool. We're ready to start, gents. Right, coffee break done. These are the questions you've got to ask yourself in order to aid with making a good decision. Which choice feels like moving with the flow, literally like water, instead of fighting it? And I do literally mean water flow, like what feels more, makes more sense. It goes with the flow. It doesn't feel like there's resistance. Look for that simplicity, the clarity. And also think to yourself, which of these options makes me gain more energy? That's an incredible indicator. That itself, I want you to be the focus. Look for the energy gain. If you say to yourself, and here's a very common one a lot of people struggle with, do I get a mentor? Do I not? And by the way, I've had a billion mentors in the past. I've paid a lot of people. Some of them are shit. A lot of them are shit. And some of them are very, very good. Very few, but very, very good. You sit there and you go, right, do I spend $5,000 on this mentor? Or do I do it myself and invest $5K in ads? Which one feels like you're going to gain more energy? May not feel the easiest, but which one feels like you'll gain more energy? And there's clarity or simplicity behind it. Probably joining the mentorship it was a lot of the time for me, even if I tried to convince myself not to, which sometimes I do, by the way. That's a personal habit I have. The flow option almost always aligns with higher lifelines, better options, freedom, stability, and better results. All right. Now, number 6 is making the decision lightly, acting swiftly is incredibly powerful when you have that neutral emotional state. And you act upon it without overthinking. And you are flexible and adaptable. You say to yourself, all right, fuck it, let's do it. Let's see what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it doesn't, I'll just run some ads. If I run out of money, I'll just get another sales role. I'll do this. All right, you've got to have that mid-ground of never, ever have a, if it doesn't work, it's over mentality. And by the way, I've split tested this in my own life. A very long time ago when I was testing, maybe 6 years ago, when I was testing businesses and I did my first marketing agency. And actually, to be honest, it was quite new then, all of this marketing thing and Facebook ads. I was a young guy and I had a burn fund I saved up, a little bit of money. I did a bit of e-com, did a bit of this, did a bit of that. And I said to myself, Jack, you either make this work in the next 3 months or you've got to get a fucking job, buddy. 9 to 5. And I assigned so much importance to it. And I worked and I worked and I worked and I forced it. That when I was working, I felt drained. I felt horrible. I felt stressed. I felt worried. Every time I rang the phone, I had anxiety doing it, which is never going to work. Whereas right now, what I do is I could sit there with my eyes closed on the toilet having a coffee. I don't know why that would be the case. And I could just phone people on my phone. And I guarantee you, I know because of the type of person I am, that I would easily book people in. And I would easily make them show to the appointment because they would hear so much authority in my voice that showing to the appointment is the only thing they'd want to do. Because I can help them. Because I know, with my knowledge and my ability and my team and my systems, there is no reason they wouldn't get results. There is no reason. And without me in their business, they're an idiot. They are an idiot, a fool. And that energy, that having that certainty, means that every call I go through, I couldn't give a shit what they say to me. I don't care if it's a no. I don't care if they don't buy. It's actually good if they don't buy in some cases. I'm over the whole objection handling thing. If you have an objection, sometimes I'll just ask them, do you want me to help you get through that? Do you want me to help you? Because if you don't and you genuinely have that objection, don't do this. Just don't work with me. It's probably your gut saying that this isn't for you. And that's fine by me. I only want to work with people that are serious and they look at me and they go, fuck, this guy's in 200 news articles. He's got 1,000 billion fucking client testimonials, all that stuff, and just sign up and pay. They're the good clients. Anyway, next section of this is important. After the decision, this is a very good way of kind of temp testing. Feel the energy you feel, right? Do you feel like that you've got positive energy, negative energy, whatever? Feel it, observe it, and then do nothing with it. You have to let go of the control to avoid checking the results obsessively. A lot of people do this. They'll run a new ad campaign and stare at the results in panic. Just let it run. See what happens. Don't doubt your decision. Don't enter that scarcity mindset and try and back out. Just focus. You made the decision. Now walk. And don't predict the outcome. Don't keep saying to yourself, oh, okay, I think this might happen, or maybe it's going to take a week extra, or this or that. Just take steady action. Have continuity in your day-to-day, and have that inner just neutrality. You don't give a shit what happens. You're neutral to it. Like if you get ruined by a mentorship, or someone rips you off badly, or this nasty chargeback comes in, all right, fine. Okay, what can you do? Will you let your energy get ruined by it, or will you just deal with it? Like, just deal with it. Stop being such a wet wipe. These decisions in business sometimes suck, often suck. Like 90% of the time, the decisions in business, they fucking suck. They're awful. You're the one that has to take the risk. Like, welcome to being a business owner. Welcome to the world where it's up to you to feed the families of the people that are in your business. And both the clients, like, I don't know how many clients a lot of guys have, whether it's 500, 1,000, 10,000, right? It doesn't matter. You've now got 10,000 families to feed every month that rely on your business bringing them work. And on top of that, let's say you have 100 employees, you've now got 100 other families that really, really rely on you feeding them. Because this is their job. You know how many lives that you literally as a business owner have lives in your hand. That's why taking this so seriously and understanding how do I make decisions is so important. Because if you do it incorrectly, you don't just hurt yourself, you hurt potentially thousands of people's lives. This is very true because a lot of, for example, businesses that have gone bankrupt, like, I'll just list one random one. There's an airline company called Virgin Atlantic in the UK. I knew lots of friends who used to fly for that airline, many of which have had a terrible last 6 to 12 months in their life with their family. And they've gone down a terrible downward spiral because the business owner who run that company simply didn't run it well enough. And the business went bankrupt. He's fine. He has loads of money. He can start another business if he needs to. He doesn't need to. But the other people that you've got to think about are very important. Anyway, I did have one last example here, which I don't really feel like going through, mainly because the example I gave you, before was probably the best one possible, and I don't like taking this video too long. If you look at my other video on your brain and your mind, it's crucial. It's crucial. If you do not watch this video about your mind and why it makes your business fail, you will not understand some of the concepts, or at least you won't be able to put this in action as much as you would be able to if you watch that. So make sure you consume that module. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to enjoy my coffee now.